All right, everybody, back by popular demand, of course, our friend and fellow co-host on The First, as well as host of The Jesse Kelly Show. Jesse Kelly is with us now. He has been getting into some naughty stuff online to upset the liberals. Mr. Kelly, welcome back.
Well, I don't see how it's naughty, Buck. We are out here and we're going to try to right the wrongs of racism in this country. And there's no older institution that is built on the blood of black slaves than in universities like Yale and Brown and Duke and Rice and several others. And I will not rest until these names have been torn off the walls and these buildings either razed to the ground or turned into low-income housing.
So, Jesse, tell everybody how this all got started. You have a plan here to get Yale canceled, but you've now expanded. And Yale, I've been mentioning this for a while on the show. In fact, I brought this up some years ago that if we're going to do this whole cancellation thing because of ties to slavery, Elihu Yale, the founder of Yale, was a slave trader. And there are others as well that have come up that are names, as you point out, very highly revered on the left. And so you got Cancel Yale trending on Twitter over the weekend. How is this going so far?
It's going very well. I'm glad people look. What we need right now is the country to come together, Buck. What we really need is more bipartisanship. You know, they love to talk about bipartisanship, and this is something people on the left and the right should agree on. The truth of the matter is this: everybody who has a Yale diploma on their wall, everybody who's worn a Yale shirt, everyone who's graduated from there, everyone who talks about Yale, everyone who has Yale in their bio line on their social media account is out there promoting the name of a man who was a slave trader. There's no other way around that. If you're going to tear down the statues of Robert E. Lee, Robert E. Lee didn't have any slaves. Elihu Yale had lots of them. The truth is, Yale, the university itself, should change its name, become an all-black college, and disperse its $30 billion endowment to black people as reparations.
I'm just wondering, has anyone in Brown University, also the founders of Brown University were slave traders? I want to know, has anyone on the left reached out to you, either publicly or in private, and said, you know what, Jesse, you're right. We do need to cancel Yale. Let's get this thing going.
Publicly, no. Privately, and I'm not allowed to say who these people are, yes, that they think, one, they see what I'm doing, two, they said it was hilarious, and three, they actually say they're totally with me on this, even if they disagree with my motivations for doing so. Let's get these names of slave owners and slave traders completely removed from our society. And maybe in so doing, we can punish the people who are responsible for the fact we now have generations of Americans who hate America. That's where people learn this. So turnabout's fair play.
And, you know, I'm here in New York, and the Duke of York, before he ascended to the throne in England, was involved in the founding of the Royal Africa Company, which had effectively a monopoly in British trade from West Africa, which included, you know, gold, gems, ivory tusks, and yes, African slaves. So doesn't New York State also have to then change its name under the new rules? I mean, to your point, Jesse, you're right. These are the rules. So why shouldn't everyone live under the rules?
These are the rules. And Buck, I am sorry to say it, man. It's not just New York State. It's any business that has New York in its title. Let's be honest. There's nobody who's been trying to lead on the issues of race than the New York Times. I mean, they've been number one on this. The New York Times must change its name. Every single print edition of the New York Times, every tweet, everything they put out there that has the name New York in it is celebrating the name of a slave trader. And that's absolutely true. And until we stop that practice, we will never truly be free.
Yes, if they're so excellent at journalism, calling themselves the Midtown Manhattan Tribune seems like it's a completely legitimate compromise under the circumstances. In fact, Jesse, if they won't do this, just as if Yale does not change its name, wouldn't we have to ask about their commitment to the cause of diversity and inclusion and facing up to our past and the inequities and the immorality of slavery? I mean, aren't they then suspect? Maybe they have a little bit of an affinity here for some causes and beliefs that we're just unearthing now.
I'm starting to have serious concerns that maybe These people on the left aren't genuine about race relations. Maybe they just hate America and want to rip it apart. I certainly don't want to accuse anybody of that. But if you can print the New York Times, but you have to tear down Robert E. Lee, what else am I supposed to think, Buck? We have Hillary Clinton, who not only went to slave trade state, I'm talking about Yale, we have Hillary Clinton, who has since returned to Yale to give speeches there. This lady is standing on the backs of dead black slaves, giving speeches at Yale University. I don't know if she's serious about race relations in America.
Speaking of Jesse Kelly, host of I'm Right with Jesse Kelly on The First, and also host of the Jesse Kelly Show on radio. Jesse, has anyone on the left tried to confront you on this and make a case as to why you're wrong? Because I have to say, I can't even think of what a defense based upon, as you point out, the rules as they are now established and being forced upon all the rest of us. I can't even think of what the opposition could to this movement to cancel Yale, to cancel Brown University, to cancel New York, to cancel the New York Times name. I can't even think of what their good faith argument would be other than, oh, no, we like this because we benefit from this name. Is there another argument?
The only argument I've seen, Buck, from this side is they'll do this thing where I got this one today, where Brown University actually put out a report examining its own racist history. And that's what they'll say. They'll put out a report. Well, wait a minute. Everybody knows the Confederacy was fighting against slavery. We have our report there. We have the report knowing the Confederacy was fighting for slaves. So why do we have to then remove Confederate generals? A report is not good enough. The rules are, as we currently stand, if you were involved in slavery, and some of these people were heavily involved, your likeness, your name must be completely removed from the public square in every possible way. Those are the rules. I did not make these rules. I certainly would never have made these rules. But if that's what we've got to do, then that's what we've got to do. So it's time to burn down the American university system.
Do you think that this is the only way that we can, other than by refusing to bend a knee to the mob, that we can start to effectively fight back in a cultural sense about this? You know, effectively meaning that we have to turn cancel culture on itself, that the cancelers have to become the cancelees.
The truth is, Buck, that we like to comfort ourselves with the saying of we're the silent majority. We are absolutely not. Numbers wise, we may be. The left owns the pillars of power in the United States of America, all of them. We even have a Republican president who's been completely hemmed in with 100% bogus investigations for the first 3 years of his presidency. We're not losing the culture war. We've lost it. We've lost it. We are now the rebel guerrilla force in the United States of America, and therefore we must conduct our battles the same way a guerrilla force does, and that is using the enemy's weapons against him. It is our only choice. That's the bad news. The good news is it's a lot of fun.
Well, General Jesse Kelly, what comes next in this war of attrition against the left?
Well, once we have taken care of the American university system, the truth of the matter is this: we're going to have to set our sights on corporate America. Corporate America has been very loud about how not racist they are recently, about how woke they are. And so I think once we've taken care of the university system, we will find out these corporations, do a little digging and find out really where they come from too.
Jesse Kelly got cancel Yale, the trend nationally on Twitter, everybody. He wants the left to live by its own rules. You should listen to what Jesse's got to say on the Jesse Kelly Show. Jesse, thanks so much, man.
Be good, brother.
Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.